Sudan. We are talking about 41.5% of its population is below 15 years. 25% of its population is between 15 years to 25 years. 15% of its population is between 25 years to 55 years. And then 3.3% of its population is from 55 above. The current coup leader who has taken over power is 61 years out of retirement. The man they just ousted, Omar Bashir, is 77 years of age. So we are talking of leadership in Africa under 3.3% of the African population. I think this is a mental damage of the African population. What is wrong with the youth in Sudan? Sankara entered power when he was 35 years old. They did not call for a democratic election. A man who kills a lion, you will not deny him the head of the lion. If Assimi Goïta has declared himself president in Mali, what is the problem? If Mamadi today declares himself president in Guinea-Conakry, what is the problem? He came through the doors of the masses, same as Goïta. The case of Sudan is a bit different, which we can talk about that later. Sankara was different. Sankara was 35 years old when he took over power and came from the doors of the masses and delivered the job. When we keep expecting, you cannot compare Mamadi and Nana Addo. You cannot compare Mamadi or Assimi Goïta and Buhari. Those are presidents that are elected from minority political parties. If you have cited all these statistics in Sudan, over 22 political parties reduce the population of 41 million people. 41% is below 15 years and not eligible to vote. 25% is from 15 years to 25 years, which majority of them also are not eligible to vote. So where are the majority that we are talking that are going to elect a civilian government? We don't need civilians in Africa. We need armies. We need armed young men and women who are ready to change their nation, who are ready to put in resources and build their nation. You cannot be talking of building a nation, you are talking of civilians. Civilians are people who have nothing to offer. We don't want spectators. Mr. Leo, we want participants, people who are actors in building their nation. So the problem in Sudan is not the coup. The problem in Sudan is not the government. The problem in Sudan is that the masses have refused to assume their position. There's a certain age in a man's life. When you get past that age, Mr. Kumliona, you have nothing anymore to offer in this life except to your grandchildren. As a matter of fact, this is the situation in which we are living in Africa. A man is 35 years old, still depends on his parents. It's only when he gets old, that's when he starts finding himself resourceful. At that point, he has nothing to offer. That's why we have many old leaders in power today. We need to get into the position, Mr. Kumliona. At my age, Mamadi is 41. That is my age group. Why can I also not be the president in Cameroon? If we don't teach our children the things we got to know early, we will not build the right generation of people. How do you expect people of 30, 40, 50? They are expecting a man of retirement, a man who life is value. When you have 5 more years to live, it means you have nothing to offer. If you even have 10, you have nothing to offer. A man like me, I still have 50 years ahead of me. That simply means I have value and I have what it takes to be part of building my nation. You cannot take a man who by virtue of analysis, he is expired. As a matter of fact, energy is not there. Mind is collapsed. If you give him a thread and a needle to pass it through, you take him a year. So you realize that all of these things, age has played into. So we must understand that the case in Africa is that the African Union should be suspended because it has not played its vital role. The African Union should have been a government where all the 54 member states which were broken down by the imperialists, knowing that the African Union is coming here to welder them and to build unity and create that sense of Pan-Africanism which was brought by the Diaspora to make Africa a home for all Africans. Today, it is like a man who wants to possess his father's property without the consideration that the father has other children. That is what these African leaders are telling us today. They are seeming to run this nation individually, private state-owned companies on the behalf of not their own people. That is why we say that this door, Mr. Kumliona, if coups want to come in Cameroon, let it come. In Guinea, let it remain there until the masses get up. Military is a medium between the government and the civilian. So if the military rises up, that simply means that it is going to mediate what is going to be good for the civilians in terms of building a new government. So for military to take over, there's no crime. But for military to keep power, that is a different issue. So if they stand on the behalf of the masses, that's a good sign.